It is early April of 1922. A full moon casts its light onto London's West End, and a thin fog lines the streets. A natural chill fills the air whilst an evil entity prowls the dark, quiet streets with an unquenchable thirst for human blood. Light a candle, dim the lights. Let's open the case. Our story starts at West Drayton Church in London, where a terrifying creature was reportedly seen. Amongst the shadows cast by the moon, a giant, bat-like creature with a wingspan of 6 feet was spotted swooping around the church. Several members of the public claimed to have witnessed it. The creature dove down into the cemetery and prowled around the tombs and headstones. Local police were called for, who then entered the cemetery, shouting and yelling in efforts to scare the creature away. Fortunately, it retreated, but only after releasing an incredibly loud, blood-curdling scream towards the men. Taking flight, the creature withdrew, soaring into the chilly night. Once the incident was shared with the public, an old man came forward claiming that he had also seen the creature, but 25 years prior. He claimed the creature was the spirit of a vampire who had murdered and drank the blood of a woman during the 1890s in the Hammersmith area of West London. A few days later, on April 16th, around 6 o'clock in the morning, an office clerk was heading to work down Coventry Street in the West End of London. Whilst approaching the corner, an unseen force seemed to grab him and proceeded to bite his neck. He claimed that he could actually feel his blood being sucked out, and then he fell unconscious. Upon waking at Charing Cross Hospital, doctors informed him that he had been stabbed with a thin tube. The man disagreed. He was adamant that nobody had been close enough to have touched him. The doctors did not quite believe the clerk's account of what happened. They thought his story sounded too far-fetched and continued with their medical duties. However, 2.5 hours later, a second man was brought into the hospital. He too was unconscious and bleeding heavily from his neck. When he awoke and explained what had happened, it sounded like the attack mirrored the office clerk's incident. Shockingly, this too had occurred on Coventry Street. The man detailed how he had been turning the very same corner that the office clerk had, and was also attacked by an unseen entity which punctured his throat. The hospital staff began attempting to piece together what had occurred. Various theories started to emerge. However, astoundingly, later in the afternoon, a third victim was admitted to the hospital. He too bore the same wounds as the other men and claimed to have been attacked by an invisible force on the corner of Coventry Street. The police could not identify just what had happened to the men, and the newspapers were quick to add their own spin onto what or who was responsible for the attacks. Fear and panic set in, and the people of London believed that there was indeed a vampire at large. A rumour originated from a Covent Garden pub when an off-duty policeman supposedly stated that the police had hired a vampire hunter, and in a team effort they had tracked the undead creature down and followed it into the Highgate Cemetery. Apparently, within the cemetery, the men cornered the vampire, and the hunter stabbed it through the heart with a wooden stake. It is unknown if the mystery of the Coventry Street vampire was ever solved. However, no further incidents were reported. As the vampire was allegedly killed in the famous Highgate Cemetery, could the spirit of the legendary Highgate vampire be the same vampire that was killed in this story? Let us know your thoughts below. We hope you have enjoyed this vampire tale. If so, please like and subscribe so you don't miss our next case.